Alright, hey guys, Nick here, and welcome to another video of sort of this behind-the-scenes explanation video thing that I do for the Pokemon anime series that I've been writing. Now, uh, today is going to be different from most of the episodes that we've done for this, because today I am talking about something a little bit different. I am talking about my ideas. Normally I talk about, like, what I liked, what I didn't like, what I learned. But this time, we're actually going to be talking about the ideas I've had for Unova. Now, as of right now, I've actually started the writing for Unova. Today's date, as of recording this, is October 10th, or October 1st, so literally a month ago now. Um, as of the time this comes out, a month ago, these ideas have been kind of circulating. So, yeah, let's get right into some of the ideas I have. I have a list right next to me. So the first thing I've wanted to implement into this is chapters. And some of you might be thinking, what on earth do you mean by that, Nick? What do you mean by chapters? And, well, it's simple. The chapters are, well, chapters. I noticed in Sinnoh there was a big problem of the story was very long, and it was not broken up into nice little segments. Like, we had the arcs, but that's about it. So I was like, this time we're going to do things a little different. We're going to have actual chapters. That you'll be able to break the series up into. The first chapter I've written, it's not done yet, but the first chapter that I'm writing right now is called Targeted. Where Nick and Void, mostly Nick, gets targeted by Team Plasma. If you're wondering why, well, it's because N has taken a shining to Nick. He's like, oh, actually, like, N met Nick, and he was like, actually, you know that whole thing about liberating Pokemon? Maybe we shouldn't do that? Because Pokemon seem to be able to like people. So yeah, N is literally like, alright, yeah, we're gonna look into this. And Getsis doesn't like that very much. Getsis is the main villain of Team Plasma, for those of you who don't know. Getsis doesn't like the idea of N not liking his idea. So he's like, alright, I gotta get rid of this kid. I gotta do something to diminish his spirit. Launching me into the next idea. Nick's Lucario, who he brought with him from his Sinnoh journey, gets captured. And it's absolutely devastating. Zinzolin, I think it's how you pronounce his name, is all, like, he goes and he's like, hello there, I am taking this now. This Lucario is now property of Team Plasma. So yeah, he takes it, and then yeah, this is gonna really diminish the main character's spirit. The main character's name is Nick, like me, you know? And yeah, it's gonna diminish his spirit. He's gonna be pretty upset about it. And this happens pretty early, and Nick is not getting Lucario back for a while. Just because, you know, it's fun to kind of keep the drama going a little bit, you know? So that's what's going on there. So yeah, Lucario gets captured. That happens in, I think, episode like 5. Yeah, we're starting pretty tough. Um so yeah, Lucario, he's captured by Team Plasma now. What's my next idea? N's Pokemon. So, as I said, things are broken up into chapters. N is going to have 2 sets of Pokemon. He's going to have his main team, and then a set of Pokemon that, after Chapter 2, N will basically be like, okay, you want to prove to me that we shouldn't liberate Pokemon? You are going to have to assemble my 6 Pokemon from around the Unova region. And the reason N picks Nick to do this is because he's the only one that really can. N basically explains that the only way to find his Pokemon is to see their aura. And Nick has aura powers from Lucario. So Nick has to use his aura powers to essentially find all of N's Pokemon. And they're scattered across the Unova region. I actually have not decided what Pokemon these are. I'm thinking one of them is a Purloin. Zoroark is N's ace Pokemon, so I gotta have that on his main team. Maybe Darmanitan. I don't know. To be decided, honestly. But hey, it's gonna be pretty cool. Next, I want to talk about the game factor. So Unova's weird. Unova has sequels rather than enhanced versions. Unova has actual like full-on sequels. Which makes storytelling for Unova kind of hard. Especially now when those sequels have already like the original anime, they had it easy. They didn't have to make this stuff. Well, I guess not actually. Never mind. Never mind what I was saying. Don't worry about what I was saying. It was stupid. But yeah, with the sequel game, you have to wonder which game do I base the story off of? And I decided both. I went with both. So certain characters are just in their Black 2, and they're just set to their Black 2 stuff. Oh yeah, and then the fact that there's major differences between the games. So Iris is not a gym leader in this. She's also not just a plucky side character. I actually have ideas for Iris. Which I hope you guys like. One of them I'll get into later. Yeah, after chapter 2, which is called Ghetsis' Plan, it'll sort of become more towards Black 2 and White 2. With the Striton gym leaders actually straight up quitting. They're like, we warned you about this. You didn't heed our warning. So, you know what? We quit. You guys had no respect for us, and now, yeah, we quit. And that's an actual thing. The Striton gym leaders had zero respect in the Pokemon League. So they just straight up quit because they weren't getting respect from their coworkers. Like they would straight up, they straight up after going to the Dream Yard, they warn the other gym leaders like, hey, Team Plasma, they're this like organization of people stealing other people's Pokemon. And the other gym leaders, they just don't care. So until they go to Nimbasa and then actually cause some problems there. And then all the gym leaders are like, all right, go on high alert. And the Striton gym leaders are like, you kidding me? We warned you this would happen. We told you this would happen. And now you're doing this? No. You know what? No. We quit. And you know what? Good on them. They're not feeling respected. Good on them. All right. So yeah, the story's like a mix between Black 2 and White 2. Colress will be introduced in Chapter 3. Because at the end of Chapter 2, basically what happens is Getsus tries to undergo a big portion, like a big operation in Umbasa City. Which fails, but we also get revealed that N is the leader of Team Plasma. And then Alright, not the leader, the king. I messed up my words there. Getsus is the leader, not... Shut up. Shut up, nerds. I know I messed up, but shut up. But yeah, there's basically this giant operation in Umbasa City at the end of Chapter 2, which takes a... It's basically like a midpoint climax. And in said climax, N is basically like, okay, yeah, the series, like that's when N tells Nick to seek out his Pokemon. So yeah, what's next on my list? Talked about that, talked about that, talked about that, talked about that. Oh yeah, so with Lucario's capture having happened, he decides that his main goal isn't to take on the gyms this time around, it's to get back Lucario. Because think about it, if you're I already knew that going after this plot point meant that it would be weird to have him continue taking on the gyms. Then I was like, what if he doesn't take on the gyms? What if he actually, like, just goes after Team Plasma and then takes on the gyms at the end? That way I can have very different gym battles with a lot of these gym leaders having seen him already. It would also explain why his team is so weak and unevolved. Shut up. I'm not trying to compensate bad storytelling with good storytelling. I'm not doing that. What? Anyway, so I bet you're wondering, if I'm using the Black 2, White 2 and black and white story, what am I doing with Bianca and Sharon? What version of these characters are we getting? And I'm just gonna be straight with you guys. We're getting the black 2 versions. Bianca is trying to be Professor Juniper's research assistant. She is gonna go to the League, but she's also trying to be this research assistant, which is pretty cool. Charon, he is a gym leader, and he knows Bianca as well. So I just wanted to do that because, you know, why not? What's next on my list here? We got multiple groups of bad guys. Like, we don't just have Team Plasma. We have a lot more than just Team Plasma this time around. I got ideas for, like I think I'm still debating a name, but I'm thinking of calling them the Castelia Swordsmen. And they're like after the swords of justice, you know? You know, like the big dog or horse or whatever they're supposed to be. One of them's a horse. One of them's like, what is Terrakian? Is it like a bull or something? I don't know. I have ideas for like one of their leaders, who will basically have Pokemon that, he basically has Pokemon that are perfect for fighting the Swords of Justice, but not Keldeo specifically. That way Keldeo can jump in and be like, it's my time to shine now. And take this guy down in an instant. Next, I wanted to bring up this little thing. Void will be taking on the black and white gym leaders, specifically the ones from black. Because personally, I think Drayden is just cooler to see as a gym leader. Not saying anything about people who played white, but just I think Drayden was the cooler gym leader. I don't know what to tell you. And don't worry, Iris is still like a big part of the story. She's still very, like, she's very prominent. She actually gets like one of the biggest, like, conclusions of any character or side character that we've had. She's gonna act sort of as a rival for the main characters. I'm surprised they didn't do that in the regular anime. Because Iris, at the end of the league arc, Iris becomes champion. Like, that's the plan there. I'm turning Iris into the champion that she deserves to be. And I'm surprised they didn't do that in like the base anime, but I don't know, it's whatever. Alright, what's next in the story? Oh yeah, mid-battle, I've talked about this. Well, I'll go through it a little bit more, in depth. So, yeah, during the time the characters spend in Nimbasa City, we are going to have, like, a mid-battle with Team Plasma, where base Team Plasma will disband. And we're gonna only... Because I've had this mix between, like, the black and white 1 Team Plasma, and then the Black and White 2 Team Plasma is also there, but they're like, they're kind of different. Like, they're more soldiers. But yeah. It's going to be a bit of a turning point because Team Plasma after that will actually basically disband on the Black and White side, and only the Neo Grunts will stay along with Zinzolin. And they also get to keep Lucario. So, yeah, that's great. Yeah. I'm sorry, I went silent for a moment there. Yeah, Zinzolin is like, he's a bad guy, you know? Might as well keep him in the story. He's interesting enough to keep there. Yeah, this causes a small problem. I have to now introduce each of the 7 sages uh individually before then. And I have plans. I have plans on how to do that. It's going to be a little tough, but I have plans. I have plans, sort of. I have part of a plan at least. Like, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. Like, I know I want a Team Plasma arc in Relic Castle. That way, Nick can catch himself a Volcarona. Which is actually going to end up being his flying Pokemon. That's cool. Oh yeah, that's something I forgot to mention. Void, the other main character, he'll still take on the gyms while Nick takes on Team Plasma, but Void isn't going to take on the same gyms as Nick. Void is actually going to take on the black and white gyms, so specifically the black ones, as I said earlier. But he's also going to take them on exclusively, while Nick will later on he might take on Lenora. That's something I'm still mulling over. I don't know if he's going to take on Lenora or Charon. From what I know, Lenora doesn't have a reason as to why she stopped being gym leader. If not, somebody explain it to me in the comments. I might have found an answer to this already, because it's been a month. But yeah, he might fight Lenora, he might fight Charon. Yeah, he'll have to go back and fight them. So yeah, that's fun. And I like comparing the badges that they got, specifically their badge order at the end of each region. I like comparing it because it's different a lot of the time. So this one's gonna be interesting. And then I mentioned that already, yeah. So, yeah, that's about the end of this video. That's about all my ideas currently. I have more. One of them being that N doesn't know about Team Plasma's whole thing where they kidnap Pokemon from trainers. He won't find out about that until the mid-battle. But yeah, that's about all I've got. So until next time, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, remember to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, share this video with everyone you know, and oh yeah, actually, I do have one more thing. Kylie, the main rival character in the series, is actually not just using a standard Unova team. She uses a team of Pokemon that are either very unique or are very unique in their encounter method. So, one Pokemon that she's using is Klinklang. It's basically I'm trying to tie into this whole thing of, because eventually Kylie is going to stop participating in leagues altogether, and she's just going to become a Pokemon researcher. Like, we're going to watch as she goes from assistant to professor. And it's actually it's gonna be pretty interesting to see that happen, but I've decided to lean into that and foreshadow it by giving her all of these Pokemon that you could only get through, like, interesting methods or different ways. Like, one Pokemon is an Audino, which, if you guys don't know, that is a Phenomena encounter in Black and White. You can only find it in rustling grass. I mentioned Klinklang. I'm not sure of any other Pokemon, but I also had to give her standard Alolan Raichu. But yeah, I think that's about it. So until the next video, guys, I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!